And a very good afternoon to you all, and good morning wherever you are watching across the United States of America and wherever across the globe. Not only are we on Wednesday, do you know what that means? The weekend is creeping upon us, which also means we are 3 days away from WrestleMania. Yes! We're just about there. Night 1 of 2 come over the weekend of WrestleMania. Did you enjoy the Hall of Fame last night? Did you? We'll have a chat. We'll have a chat about that later on social media, a separate one. You may have caught me in the green room, just getting sorted this morning and watching the end of the Hall of Fame. Anyway, like I say, we'll chat about that across on social later on in the day. But we have got a jam-packed day lined up on Crafters TV for you. With it being Wednesday, what we have got is we've got a phenomenal, not just AJ Styles that's phenomenal, we've got Sarah with a phenomenal craft along. So she's going to be coming along with a craft along all about our flower forming, our spring flower forming. So you can see the details on your screen right now. 3 p.m. here in the UK. For you guys, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific Time. But then what you've got later on at the end of the day, you've got me starting the day with Joe, and then you've got me ending the day with Joe, where it's Creative Cravens. So we're going right back to basics when it comes to doing some cards and some projects. We've got a mixture of things that we are also going to be showing in Wake Up Call. So that's what's going to be coming up throughout at least Wake Up Call anyway. But Creative Cravens, you can see on your screen right now, you've got 7 p.m. here in the UK, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, or it is 11 a.m. Pacific Time. So a jam-packed day all lined up. So we've got some stamping, we've got some flower forming. Talking about flower forming, we may give you some little interesting facts about some flowers throughout this show. You might not know about them, some of them you might do. A lot of them I didn't. I'm not a flowery guy. Although, if you've seen my Instagram the other day, you'll have seen on Easter Monday, just Monday past there, after I finished Wake Up Call, I went, I'd done some really exciting, I went and done a food shop. But do you know what I bought myself? Joe, we were talking about this the other week there. I'd never done it before, so I bought myself, first time ever, flowers, real flowers. Nice. Yep, so instead of having artificial ones around the house, I bought some brand new, some real flowers. So they are brightening up my house. Anyway, maybe you didn't want to know that, I know a lot of you do, but if you didn't, then you do now. Tell you what, we just go across to Joe. He'll maybe just start to rein it back 3 minutes in to the show already. So, hey, Joe.
Oh, good morning, Craig. How are you this morning?
Rather chatty and energetic today.
Rather chatty and energetic. It is going to be one of those days. I can sense it. Yes, absolutely loads coming up. And also throughout this Wake Up Call, of course, there will be awesome craft fault deals for you. Make sure you pop yourself over to the website and have a look at those. It's a buy two get one free situation, which we always love. Also, don't forget, make sure you're checking your inboxes this morning, because we've just sent you all a fantastic voucher code for to save £5 when you spend 40 on subsequent purchases. So make sure you go and check that all out. But yeah, absolutely loads coming up throughout the show today, which is going to be very, very exciting. Talking of things that are on the show and are exciting, of course, every Monday we launch a brand new Get It, Got It Good. And this week's Get It, Got It Good is the amazing colour blend pencils by Spectrum. Now you get 24 of them in here. You're only paying for the pencils themselves. You're actually getting the blending solution and the watercolour paper totally free of charge, which is absolutely awesome. Make sure you take advantage of it. It is only going to be running until we launch a new one next Monday.
Excellent, so that is your current Get It, Got It Good. But let's bring it right back to today's show. And what we're going to be doing is, first of all, we're going to be showcasing what's coming up when it comes to Craft Along. So Craft Along is going to be with Sarah and Joe. If you need a little bit of a head start as to what products you're going to need to craft along with Sarah, can go across on our social media pages, and the list of goodies that you're going to need will be there. However, if you've not already got them and you want to craft along at a later date, okay, we won't be live, but you can still craft along, we have got the ability for you to then purchase the collection here today. So this is our Spring Flower Forming collection with 68 dies, you've got 400 stamens and you've got 12 sheets of foam as well. £63.92 for you here in the UK, $79.60 for you guys stateside. Nice saving already. Still going to be getting your Club Inspire on top of that when it comes to the checkout. So this is a nice selection of, and it says it in the title, it's springtime. So you've got real bright springtime colours. However, maybe you've got some other foam from the original set, maybe the Rose Garden. Say no more, watch this space in this show. You can then start to incorporate them as well. Unbelievably delicate but really robust flowers that you can be making. So that is then going to be coming along in Craft Along. So that is then going to be 3 p.m. here in the UK, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific Time. Then something else that we've got now, we had these on last Friday, Good Friday, and this was all about our glitter markers. And these hadn't been seen since December last year. We've still got some. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be showcasing these again in Creative Cravens and also in Wake Up Call this morning. And this is our Spectrum Noir glitter markers here. So we have got 3 sets, and then within each set you have got your 6 packs within each one here. So what you'll be able to do when it comes to these ones is you can still do your blending out with colours because they're water based, so lots of different techniques that you can do. 18 markers in total, £32 here in the UK, $48 for you guys stateside. So we're still keeping that 10% saving when it comes to the original price that it was. But as I always like to say, and I said it a moment ago and I'm going to say it again, all of you are all going to be, or most of you are going to be within some level of Club Inspire, so you're still going to get them even less than that. But then what we're going to do is we're going to carry on and we're going to go all Eclipse when it comes to our stamp and dies. These are simply phenomenal. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, because I tell you time and time again, I use these alphabet dies more for general card making than the Eclipse effect. But that's kind of like a twofer then, that you can do that. Good sizable dies coming up on your screen right now. So this is our Eclipse stamp collection, 60 elements in total. So you're getting all sets there. So you're getting 5 in total, 4 are stamps, and then 1 set is your 27 alphabets. So £39 here in the UK, $45 for you guys stateside. However, if you do go across to crafterscompanion.com.co.uk or .eu, all your prices in euros will be there as well. So we've got nice bit of construction with the spring flowers. So this is what we can then be having a look with here. Let's have a look. I've got some boards. Let's show you here. Now we've got a selection this time round. What we've actually done, instead of giving you all dies, we've given you some of the flowers in smaller dies, and then the rest are within stencils. So then it makes it a little bit cheaper for you, and then all you need to draw around is the stencils, cut them out, and that's going to be giving you your larger flowers. So within this one here, so this is where it's giving you the smaller ones, but then also the foliage. So that one there is our Regal Rose that we can see here. These are all heat activated, so a little bit of heat and you're going to be able to start to shape them. These are your Vibrant Dianthus on these ones here. So same concept, smaller dies, and then you've got your larger stencils at the top. Then on this one, we've got our Elegant Ranunculus on that one there. Thank you so much for helping me out there, Joe, because that could have come out one of 2 ways. Probably not the nice way either. Hydrangea Garden for on this one here. So you've got your flowers, you've got your foliage, your leaves as well to go with it. So Hydrangea Garden on that one there. We've got Tulip Blooms. Now this one is so cute when it comes to using them within the red foam. Then what we've also got is the Delicate Crocus here, so all different shapes and all different looks. Now we have pre-named these ones, but you could be using them and making them and actually creating your own different flowers if you want. Wild Poppy within this one here, and then last but not least we've got the Pretty Peony from this one here. So that is the flowers and the foliage you're getting there, but you're still getting the foam as well, and you're also getting those 400 stamens included as well. £63.92 here in the UK, $79.60 for you guys stateside. Incredible nice saving as well. And these are relatively new as well, remember, not that long launch. So that's coming up in Craft Long at 3 p.m. here in the UK, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific Time. Now, what we start to do as well, we've sprinkled some Craft Vault deals in the middle of Wake Up Call. So to tell you more about them, the main man himself, the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, is right across, and he's away to go through them right now.
I don't know if Craig's after something this week, because the intros have been, honestly, next level. I think he must be really getting in the zone for WrestleMania. I think that's what it is. I think he's slightly affected. Right, what I want to share with you are some of the awesome Craft Vault deals that we have got coming up for you in this show. It is a 3 for 2 across absolutely everything. And the first one we've got is an absolute essential. It is, of course, our tape pen. So you get 2 of the dotty tape pens in here, and then we give you one of the permanent tape pens totally free of charge. The great thing about them, of course, is you've got 22 meters on each of these, which is absolutely fantastic. So you grab the 2 dotty ones, we'll give you the extra strong one totally free of charge. It's $9.98 or $13.90. Platinum members, of course, $7.98 or $11.12. I mean, we all remember the great tape pen shortage, don't we, of 2020. So let's not have a repeat of that. To get one for free is absolutely awesome. Now, Craig just alluded to it a moment ago. We do have the Rose Garden available for you on the show. And with this one, what's awesome is that you are getting not only 2 dies in here, you're also then receiving the mixed card pack. So you pay for the mixed card pack and the Fanciful Floribunda, and we're going to give you the Climbing Rose totally free of charge, which is awesome. Let me just show you things you can do with that. This is that Fanciful Floribunda die that you're getting in there. Cuts all of that gorgeous detail into your project, and then the Climbing Rose is a sort of a vertical edge ball that you've got on there, which is awesome. And then you're getting 24 sheets of the cardstock in there too, in a great range of colours, 250 GSM, and it's got that lovely pearlescent finish to it as well. If you want to shop any of the Craft Vault deals, you know where to find them, craftscompanion.co.uk.com.au, click the shop the show button, and they are all there for you, which is awesome. Great little collection, this Rose Garden one, Craig, and it was such a successful signature collection, wasn't it?
Really was. I really do think it's because of the colour tones as well, but then as the main collection as a whole, the way the mixture of products that you've got. So even now to have this nice little bundle to start with is really good. As I've been saying a lot lately with everything that's been going on in the world, we've got more and more crafters, not only just joining crafting in general, but us at Crafters Companion. Maybe you've never tried a Sarah Signature collection before. This is a really nice one to do a little bit of a tester just to see how much you like it, and then let me tell you though, you're going to get hooked to future ones as well. But let's have a look and see what everyone is saying this morning. So we've got, holding the fort on Team Social, it's my good friend herself. Sarah Jane is on. Morning, Sarah Jane, although I have already seen her this morning. We've got Denise, we've got Shelley, we've got Sarah already on. Then we've got Lynn Farding is saying, nice spander. What? Spider plant. Do we have a spider?
Oh, in the corner, yeah.
Oh, in the corner. Got you. I thought it was maybe something to do with me saying that I'd bought flowers the other day. Sandra Dundas on YouTube is saying, hi everyone, Mr. Yodel has been today and got my lucky dips. Excellent. One item was, just saying, one item had gone AWOL, but the wonderful customer services had sorted it out within minutes. So there we go, much love to Team Social. Lynn Harvey is saying, loving the jumper, Joe. Yeah, I said the same. So smart when it comes to your jumper. Yay.
You're a tiger.
Oh, there you go. Work it. So, get your comments in, whether it is on YouTube or, of course, on Facebook. Do get them in. You can see the details right along the bottom. If you have been making anything, then do get your photos in. Specifically, if you have been making anything with any of the flower forming collection, do get your photos in as well. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk, and you might be able to see them popping up on your screen. But let's have a look and see this Sarah Signature. Now, this one has got possibly one of my favourite die sets from Sarah's Signature, and this, as Joe showed you, the fancy Floribunda. So with this one here, what I'm going to do is let's use this one and show you how it can actually go through. So let's take this main die. So you've got the main die itself, And what it does do is it's got part of the detail that cuts in. So this is where it cuts into your card. However, what you've got is an option to do your mats and layers with your outside if you want. So let's show you what I mean by cutting into the cardstock. I'm going to then pop this one down. Although I was saying that I've got some flower little bits of knowledge to share with you throughout the show. If you've got any, do let us know as well. You might have some, maybe what's your favourite flower, Joe?
Lilies, white lilies.
You like them.
Love a white lily.
So what's your favourite one at home? Maybe specific favourite plant or flower, do let us know. Or any little bits of knowledge that you've got, let us know them as well. But what I've done is I've just popped that die into the middle of my cardstock, and I've made sure that I've not put the outline die. So this is what will then cut into our card, so leaving that real, look at that, my die slipped. My die slipped, oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no, no, oh, no, no, no. Right, so what I'm going to do is let's bring another piece in again. I really need to stop watching TikTok, that's for sure.
Me too. I daren't download TikTok, Craig. I've just got, you know, I feel like I don't have enough time in the day as it is. So if I downloaded TikTok, I just fall into a TikTok black hole somewhere.
Yeah, you do. It's a social media addiction version of Pinterest.
Right.
Whereas, you know, you go on, you look at like one thing, and before you know it, 2 hours later, you're still looking at something else. You know, Pinterest, you go and you have a look at, you know, home decor ideas for the living room, and then before you know it, you're looking at tranquil places across the globe, or how upcycled plant pots, or, you know, random stuff like that. You just get the most random things that you end up looking for. But here we go. So that's us now. Cut that into our cardstock. So you've got all of that rose detail as well as the foliage. So straight away what you could also do then is let's bring in our guillotine again, and let's do a bit of a mat and layer. So that is 5 inches. So let's go 5 1/4. And this cardstock I'm using, this is what you get within the set as well. So it's a combination of pearlescent and linen card. So you can simply do a mat and layer onto a card blank. You don't need to do much at all.
Beautiful.
Or what you could then do, if you wanted to, let's pop that one through again, Joe. But what we can do is use the outline die. So let's pop the outline die, and I'm going to pop my low tack tape on to secure it. So if we work it in. Now you could use the 2 dies at the same time if you wanted to. I've just done them separate so I can show you a few different ways. And this one is a gorgeous one to paper piece, even if it's just the specific rose heads, that works really nice. So let's run that one through. Let's have a look and see. Susan Prill on Facebook saying, Joe, you're looking jazzy. You are, aren't you? You're looking jazzy. There you go, you can tell he's halfway through his 6 days here, 6-day run. I'll wait until what he's like on. When's your last day? Saturday?
Saturday. Oh,
Saturday.
Something big happening on Saturday as well. I can't tell you too much about it yet, but stateside, it's going to be a big evening.
Well, funny enough, you saying that. Pamela Evans on YouTube says, I've been seeing some sneak peeks across social. Is Sarah, or is Crafter's Companion launching another Sarah signature next week? I keep seeing letters from the heart. Well, put it this way, I am keeping my mouth shut on everything that you will find out when it comes to Saturday. And should Joe, you know, tend to give anything away throughout the next couple of days, that's up to him. But I'm not. Let's just say, what I am going to say though, he's nodding. He's nodding. What I am going to say is they have been setting stuff up in that next studio that I want to say they must be doing some filming or something shortly. And that's all that I'm going to say. Anything else, we'll leave that to Joe over the next couple of days, because I don't want to get into trouble, because I love my job. Now here we go. So what I've also done is used that back die to create a matting layer. So that can simply go on the top if you want, and again that could go onto a card blank if you want. Trim it down and it could go onto maybe a gatefold card if you want. But let's show you a couple of other things that you can do. We seem to be all stuck here. So let's go, so this one here, this has been used on the backdrop. So this has been used right in the back underneath these florals. So then you can then start to bring in your spring flowers if you want, and you can incorporate that. Then again, that same die, but what it's been done is it's been chopped in half and then it's been popped in at the sides, just tucked in nicely. And then one of the other ones that you get is your edgeable here. So a nice small sized edgeable. You know, it's small, but it's not too small either. So a nice set of dies, including that cardstock that you are getting as well. An absolute must. If you've never tried a Sarah signature, maybe you didn't get the Rose Garden collection and you want to try it out, perfect opportunity to do so, Joe.
Absolutely, it is, and you're getting loads in there for that price. Remember, you're paying for the fanciful Floribunda and the cardstock, and then you're receiving the Climbing Rose totally free of charge. This is what the fanciful Floribunda will do for you, which is absolutely awesome. All of that delicate cutting detail, as you saw there, and then also you're going to receive then that beautiful edgeable, which is the Climbing Rose. And what's great about that is the bit that you are not paying for. Who doesn't love a freebie? The great thing about that is as well, of course, you can still use your Club Inspired discount on there too, which is brilliant, meaning $18.38 in the UK, $23.98 if you are stateside also. Favourite flowers, Craig? Amy Griffith says her favourite is carnation. I know it seems basic, but I love the way they smell. You do you, Amy.
Yeah.
Helen says, Maria's are also carnation. Helen says, I love gerberas as they have so many bold colours. I also love a mix of green and white cream flowers. Daffodil reminding me of my dad. I always chose them for his garden. Keep letting us know what your favourite flowers are, whether you want to do that over on Facebook, Crafters TV, or across on YouTube, Crafters Companion. I do want to remind you again, though, of this week's fantastic Get It, Got It Good. This week, of course, it's all about Spectrum Light. It's all about those incredible colour blend pencils. You're buying the pencils here and you are receiving the blending solution, and you also get the watercolour cardstock totally free of charge, which is brilliant. So $24.99 or $34.95 is only for those pencils. So just make sure you grab hold of that. Remember, we launch a brand new Get It, Got It Good every single Monday here on Crafters TV, which is awesome. Adriana says, I love lilies. They are in many of Diego Rivera's mural, Frida Kahlo's husband. I didn't know that. Adams Rose loves roses and tulips. And also Arlene says her favourite is a rose. I'm really getting into plants at the moment as well, Craig. So it's all just about the flowers, but now I'm branching out into plants. I've got a trailing ivy and I've got another one. I think it's called a cheese plant. But I love them. I did have two plants here in the house in Darlington, Stephanie and Nancy. Unfortunately, Stephanie is no longer with us, and Nancy's wilting a little bit as well, but I'm trying to keep it going, just not enjoying the winter.
No. I'm trying to think, cheese plant. Does that got kind of a look of palm leaves or something?
Yes, and it splays out quite a lot as it grows. It's got like big sort of that shaped leaves on it.
Ah, okay.
Call me Charlie Dimmock, clearly.
What shaped leaves?
That's what it is, yeah, a Monstera. Well done, Charlotte. 10 house points.
Okay. Oh, right, okay, yeah, that exactly looks like.
Do they have them in Morpeth, Charlotte? Lots of them.
My mum used to have one in, it was her bathroom. So it was a bathroom, and it was huge. It was really big.
Yeah, they're awesome, aren't they?
Yeah, but, well, I don't know. I personally wouldn't have one, but...
Wow!
Well, it's just
savage.
Because of the size of them. Just because of the size of them. You know, you do you, hon. Right, so let's have a look at the spring flowers. So these ones, Joe, this is what's coming up now. If you didn't know, this is what's coming up with yourself and Sarah later on. So this is your 68 dies within these ones here. And what you're doing is you're getting 400 stamens as well, and you're getting your 12 sheets. So these are your heat activated foam within these ones here. So 63.92 here in the UK, for you guys stateside 79.60 for you in dollars and cents. And if you are across in Europe, then just go to .eu and all your prices will be there. So you can see it on your screen just in a moment or two. There we go. There is all of the sets that you've got, slightly different this time round, whereas your larger flowers aren't dies, they are actually kind of like stencils or templates for you to draw around and cut them out yourself. Good thing with that is it reduces that cost that little bit more because you're not paying for the metal. And then there is your real, do you know something, that foam, although it's springtime, you know, absolutely those colours are springtime, but they're a very bold springtime colour, which are working well with the flowers that you're getting throughout. So we showed you them at the start, so let's go straight in and let's do Wild Poppy for this one. And what I have done is I've got a couple of the reds that you get within the set. I have already trimmed round some of the larger ones just to save a little bit of time. So if I bring the stencils in here so that you can see. So this is your larger ones. So all that you would then do is come along with your pencil, light pen, draw around, and then you can trim round as well. I would be inclined to do a couple at a time, Joe, because the good thing is you don't need to be exact here. Do you know something? You don't even need to 100% follow the outline, just roughly cut all the way around, because you're going to be shaping them and forming them as it is. So there is a couple here. Let's then bring in a couple of these ones. So there's your deeper shades. Let's go in with a few for your lighter shades. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim my foam here. Lots of people are still talking about their favourite flowers, Craig. Kathy C, I love wildflowers, so daffodils, snowdrops, daisies, shop-bought flowers. She loves a lily. Lily's quite popular on Craig, isn't it? It seems to be. Christine says my favourite flowers, poppies, roses, orchids. I've got more than one. And Wendy loves a hydrangea. So many beautiful colour variations. Yeah, really nice. The bunch that I bought the other day, I didn't know exactly what they were because I'm not up to date with my flowers or that, but my friend Laura, who was on Wake Up Call a couple of months ago for Softer Side, her mum, I always call it Auntie Maggie, who's unfortunately no longer with us. I didn't actually realise one of her favourite flowers, or her favourite flower was an orange hydrangea. Right. And that was actually within the bunch. And it's just the one, so it really stands proud within the bunch of flowers. So it was really nice. Obviously something in my head was telling me to get that certain set. I just love flowers. I think I said it like so many times before, my house feels naked without flowers in it. It really does. Have to have them absolutely everywhere. Yeah, it's funny you saying that because actually we've talked about it a couple of times. We've talked about it on air because I've got the artificial, the branded, the peony, you know, the branded artificial ones. And, you know, they're really nice. And I completely get what Joe says now that I've actually got a bunch of real flowers in the living room. It does make a difference. The scent, the brightness when it comes to them. So I can see myself getting more as time goes on. The discount supermarkets where you want to go to, Craig. Really? Yeah. Aldi and Lidl. Right. Honestly. Get the biggest bunch of flowers for like £4.99 and they last like 2 weeks as well. Yeah. They are epic. It's whenever I go home, if I'm at home, and if I get my mum flowers, she always says that as well. You know, she's always grateful, but she would rather I got them from an inexpensive supermarket than to spend a lot of money in the high-end places. Because you find some of the supermarkets, like Joe just said, they actually last longer than your high-end ones. So, to be fair, she always says, don't waste your money on me. It's never a waste of money. But she would rather as well, I get them from the whoopsie aisle as well, because she doesn't want me to waste my money. Do you know whoopsie aisle was a term that I'd never heard of until I worked in the Northeast? Did you not? No, the whoopsie was just not... what do you guys call it in your supermarkets, wherever you are, where if it's like the discount, we would call it the yellow sticker, I think, the yellow sticker aisle or something like that, where they just discount everything down. when I worked with the co-op, we just called it the Reduce to Clear aisle, or Reduce to Clear sticker. Yeah.
Charlotte says they don't call it Whoopsie in Morpeth. I think their supermarkets are so fancy in Morpeth that they don't have those areas in them. You know, the really fancy supermarkets, they don't do the marking down, do they, Craig? Just get rid of it.
Yeah, just get rid of it. Yeah.
Shame.
Yeah, it is a shame. It is a shame. So yeah, here's another question as well. What do you call it? What do the American supermarket call it?
Hopefully we'll find out. I'm not sure.
It'll be interesting to find out. So what I've got is I've got my heat iron here. I've got my craft iron. Now you can use a home iron like Sarah does. You can use a travel iron if you want. So I've got it on high. So I'm just popping this one on, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it onto my foam here, and we've still got a little bit of time that we can shape it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go round, and then what I'm also going to do now at this point is I'm going to fold them in on top of each other. And we do have kind of like distressing tools, but I don't want to distress it too much. I just want to roll it back and forward slightly, and I am kind of pressing it at the same time. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up, and then I'm going to go back, and then I'm going to kind of form it over my ball tool. So between distressing it within my fingers and then shaping it with my thumbs, what's happening is this is going to create a real opened petal. And I'm doing it lightly with my two thumbs. So I'm going to keep going to really stretch it out. If you do tear it, don't worry about it, because, you know, petals are never natural in the, out in the wild. Yeah, in the wild.
Yeah.
In the wild.
In nature.
In nature, that's it. I've still got Animal Kingdom on my mind from yesterday with the Hunky Dory show.
Oh, that was such a busy show, wasn't it?
It was such a busy one.
Gail says it's the clearance aisle. Wendy says we call it the clearance aisle. I call it the fun aisle. Absolutely. Pam says my husband has bought me a bunch of flowers every week since we married. Then it stopped in the first lockdown last year, and I commented, so now in every home food delivery he adds a bunch of flowers now. I wonder then how many bunches of flowers, Pam, he's bought you over these. I have a feeling, I think Pam has been married for quite a while. So one a week, that's 52 bunches a year. Let us know, Pam. That's a whole lot of flowers. But what a lovely gesture every week to get a new bunch of flowers.
It is such a lovely gesture. And actually, did you know when it comes to tulips anyway, in Holland, they were at one point more valuable than gold.
Really?
Yeah. Yep, they were indeed.
I've been to Holland, see the tulips.
So have I. I have as well. I did. Yeah, it was primary 7. We went on a trip.
Have you tried clogs on before, Craig? They actually have like wooden clogs, don't they, in Holland? Made all out of wood.
Yeah, that's why they're called wooden clogs. I want to say that I did.
Yeah.
Went to try. I want to say we did try them. We obviously went to Anne Frank. We went to the marzipan factory. And the really popular, like, miniature town.
Oh, Mini World.
Is it Mini World? Is it?
Or Mini Europe? Yeah.
Mini
Europe.
Europe.
Excellent, Craig. It's so good there.
So, it was really fun. And it makes you feel dead big and important, doesn't it? Just pretend it's a real world and you're a giant. Just, if you want, you can do that.
You can, yeah. I mean, you can indeed. We actually have some Dutch viewers, don't we? I wonder if we've got any Dutch viewers watching us today. Yeah, let us know in the comments on Crafts TV on Facebook or Crafts Companion on YouTube. Have you been to Mini World? It's not called Mini World. I'm going to have to try and find out what it's called.
To say, I didn't think it was, no.
I'm going to find out what it's called.
Yeah, be interesting. Interesting to find out. But at the moment, I'm not doing anything different here. I'm doing what I've done a moment ago, and see how open you can have these petals. So if I pop them onto my sponge mat here, and I've really shaped them so that they are really open, an open cup. The larger the ball tool, the more open that they're going to be, because you've got a bigger circumference to shape them around. So let's do a couple more with these smaller ones.
It's called Maduro Dam.
That rings a bell. That rings a bell, that one. So it was really quite smart.
Marisol wants to know what kind of iron you are using and where would we get one from?
It's a craft iron. So all you would just do is go on to, Amazon, eBay, or Google it, just do craft iron. But as I say, it can be a travel iron, it could be a home iron like Sarah uses. So any type of iron. You could use a heat tool. The only difference with that is you've got a little bit less control. You can then determine when you take the flours off the heat with the craft iron, but with a heat tool, you kind of just have to let it go all its own way. So if you can, then travel iron, home iron, or a craft iron.
Awesome. I hope that helps, Marisol.
So see there, Joe, I don't know if you see how I've torn that slightly. I'm going to leave that.
Okay.
I'm going to leave, because now I know you're going to laugh at this, Joe, but you'll also get what I mean. It's like if maybe a little bug has been at it, like you get in nature. You get the little bite marks or the little bits that have gone from where the bugs have been at it. So always keep it. And actually I've done it again there. But the same goes for if you were to tear a petal off, don't dispose of it. Use it to attach it to the back of your flour using hot glue at the end.
Sonia has just messaged. Sonja says, I am from Holland. Well, hello. I don't know how you say hello in Dutch.
I don't know.
I think it might be hey, but I'm not sure. Whereabouts in Holland are you, Sonja? I would love to know. Have you been to the model village that me and Craig spoke about? Do let us know. Yeah,
it'd be interesting. Or maybe, you don't actually live in Holland or that, and you've been as well. That would be good to know. Just find it interesting. It's because it's just tulips in Holland, isn't it?
Tulips? Windmills, bicycles?
Yeah, I was meaning like flowers, but yeah.
I think they have lots of different flowers.
Do they?
They are like a flower growing nation, Craig. Lots of the flowers that we have in the UK are imported from the Netherlands.
Right, yeah. Because I've got another fact for you, but this one has been with roses. So did you know that they can actually grow quite tall? Which I didn't know
Roses?
that. Roses can, yeah.
Right.
The tallest ever recorded for a rose bush stands at 23 feet or 7 metres.
That is a big bush, isn't it? Imagine how many roses were on that.
I know, can you imagine how many there was? How many you could be gifting to friends and family by creating your own bunch? So there we go, there's another little left.
Pam's come back to us, Craig. She says 52 times 55 years. Joe, except on holiday, so nearly 3,000 bunches of flowers. I always get yellow roses for my anniversary as they were in my bouquet. As they are not in season April, he said he now known he would have tried to make me have red or pink, so they would have been much cheaper for our anniversary. There we are. That's epic. I love that, Pam.
Oh, that's so good, isn't it? So good. Yeah, it's amazing to think how many has been bought over the years.
3,000, imagine them.
Imagine
all
that.
In the house.
Imagine. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the 4 that I've already done, and what I've already done beforehand as well, I've got these little stamens that we can see here, and this is from the set as well. So this is where you've got your little stamen here, and I've just used that into some green foam. And then what I've done is I popped it onto my iron and just left it for literally a few seconds and curled it over. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop my pokey tool through the middle. Then I'm going to go into my first of my smallest ones. And then I'm going to do the same again with the next smallest ones. But I'm over sitting each petal, so they're overlapping slightly. Now, even that little size alone will look really, really nice in the corner of a card, or maybe you've seen the little journal that I done yesterday in Wake Up Call. Use them in the corner. Then I'm going to go into this next one, and again, I'm offsetting it slightly. And I'm going to manipulate the petals slightly, and I'm going to keep going. And remember, they become so robust. Once that they have fully cooled down, which doesn't take long at all, we can then start to do this next one, and we can see how we've got this coming together now. And what you can also do is, if you wanted to, you could be using hot glue in between each layer. I personally don't do that. I layer them all together at the same time, and then what I'm going to do, I'm just having a look if I was looking to see if I had a black pen. Do you know what I'm going to do? just shortly, we've got our glitter markers on the show.
We do. I'm excited for these, Craig.
So it's going to be good. Yeah, because you've not seen them, have you?
Never used these before.
Never
no.
used them. Because they actually launched in December and then sold out, and then we've never had them back until Friday past. So it's so good that we've even still managed to get, because I actually thought they were going to sell out again, but we've still got some more. So we're going to have them in, well, we've got them in Wake Up Call, but what we're also going to do is have them in Creative Cravens later. Now what I'm going to do is I'm colouring each of these stamens here, and I'm doing that. This is the carbon, so it's not quite a black, it's more of a deep, deep grey. And then I'm going to colour these. So you can colour your stamens with your tri-blends or your classiques. Same with the actual foam itself. Come along with some of your quick dry and you can start to stain it and colour it if you want. So all that I'm doing is I'm going to lay some of this down, and then what I'll do, because they're water based, let's get a little puddle going, and then what I'm going to do is let's roll all these in, bit of a quicker way to colour them. So let's colour these. So we're going to have a real deep grey / black stamen. So I'm going to set them out the way. I've already popped them onto some wire, really fine wire. And these are actually 4 strands of stamens. But what I have done is I've just folded them over, so that gives us 8 of them. And then what I can do is come back in here. And then this is where, I'm going to shorten this slightly, we're going to pull out our pokey tool. And because it's robust at this point, what to do is hold it with your finger and your thumb and then feed through the stamens. And then what you can then do is you can hover it and decide how high you want the stamens. Some you might want low, some you might want high, really proud. So that's up to yourself. And then I'm going to go around the back with my hot glue. And then we would leave that a moment or two to actually dry. But I don't have a few moments. So let's just snip this excess off here. Then this one is now one that we've created in front of your eyes. So manipulate that again a little bit so you can see how you get this really lovely flower. And with this one here, because that we've shaped it and distressed it, it's made the petals even more delicate, even more lighter. They add very, very little weight to your cards or your projects. They are that light. And then what I've already done as well is I've got a couple others done. So this one is using the larger of the petal here, and I've only done 2, and I've just shaped them slightly by going over my thumbs that we've seen a moment ago with the stamen, and that is all that I've done on that one. And then what I've also done is I've done another one, but then what I've done is done that in the darker red that we can see here. Still using the stamens in the actual centres. So what I'm then going to do is let's just pop that one there. I'm going to pop that one onto the back. Now again, I would just let the hot glue dry a little bit longer, but for time and speed, we've then got our little flowers or petals. And then what you can then do is come along, add them to your cards or your project. I was having a look, I don't think I've got any finished samples here, but then it doesn't have to be your cards, it could be your home decor as well. What about the frames that Sarah done? And these are the ones that are also going to be included when it comes to the craft along later on today with Joe and Sarah. So that is going to be 3 p.m. here in the UK. It's going to be 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific Time. So you can see the details on the side there. That's your spring flower forming collection. 68 dyes, 400 white stamens that you can colour whichever colour that you want, and you're getting 12 sheet of the heat activated foam as well. £63.92 here in the UK for you guys stateside, $79.60. You're already getting that really good saving to start with, and then when you go into the website, you go and pop it into your basket checkout, you'll get your Club Inspire on top of that as well at the same time. So crafterscompanion.com.eu or .co.uk is the place for you to go. But how about maybe another couple of little craft vault deals you maybe want to pop into your basket? The main man himself has got some more to show you.
Yes, I have indeed. Lots of you still chatting away. Sonia came back to us, Craig. She says, hello, I'm from The Hague, near Madura Dam and Scheveningen. So we could have called in for a cup of tea when we were there, Craig, I reckon. Rebecca says, hi, Craig and Joe. I went to Holland as well when I was about 10 years old. I remember the mini town. We also did the Anne Frank Museum, but unfortunately, we didn't get to go to the marzipan factory. How disappointing. They did go to a cheese factory instead, though. So, you know, swings and roundabouts there. Kerry says, I have visited Madura Dam at The Hague and the lovely Tulip Gardens during high school in West Germany. It started my love of Lego as well. And Diane saying the village is Zanserschans, which is another one 6 miles outside of Amsterdam. Working windmills, cheese making, chocolate making, and making Dutch wooden shoes too. Sounds lovely, doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
I'd love a little city break to the Netherlands at the moment. Claire Moore's got a question about the flower forming, Craig.
Yes.
She says, could you coat the flowers with fabric coat to make them waterproof for outdoor displays?
That I don't know. However, because of the way that they are, if you create your flower, so if I bring this one in, if you want to do your own centerpiece, so you have a shallow bowl with water and you can then already just pop them so they just float around. So they're going to be fine in that way. So I don't see why not. I don't see why they wouldn't be waterproof already, the way that they are. So, do you know something? I would actually even try it without coating them with anything. Like say, if you can pop them in a shallow, well, I say shallow for the effect, but you could pop them in a bowl of water and make a nice display for them to float. So why not? Just go for it.
Yeah, great idea. Thanks for that, Craig. Yes, we've also got some flowers in as well. Anne Molyneux has been really busy. Let's have a look at those. She's been doing these with it. Was it the peony she was using here? How awesome are they, Craig?
That is so smart. I love how effective they are. I love how texturous they are as well with the shape.
Absolutely awesome. Now, loads more craft folk deals for you in this show. Make sure you pop over to the website on the home screen, click the shop the show button, see everything that's available for you. But next up, we're going to have a look at the swash stamps, and they're coming to you for free when you buy the ink pads, which is fantastic. So the 2 ink pads you're getting included are the Harmony Quick Dry ink pads. You're getting them in the Lagoon and the Spring Meadow, which is awesome. So you get those in there. Now the swash stamps, which you're not paying for, are awesome. You've got some really cool little sentiments in here. I love you, with love, you're engaged, on your wedding day, lots of love, and then made with love. And you also get some little embellishing stamps under there as well, as you can see, which is fantastic. And these are great for smaller cards, more minimalist cards, wonderful for things like diaries, bullet journaling, planners, all of those kind of things. You're going to absolutely love using those on. They were a large collection. They were very, very popular. But all of that, $7.98 or $11.12 if you are a Club Inspire Platinum member, which is fantastic value for money. It really, really is. Now, Craig, I know you've got even more that you want to share with us that's coming up today.
I do. I absolutely do. We're going to have a look at those swash stamps. But, Joe, can I get your set? Because I don't have any here.
Oh, I don't have any either. I've just got a board.
Oh, you've just got the board.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, it's got product in it.
Oh, has it got product in it? That's fine.
If I can get it out. Don't let anyone see, will you?
No, I know. I won't. I know, and it's Tracy as well. Oh my gosh,
oh, no.
They really are stuck to the board, aren't they? I need to do this discreetly. Johnny, can we maybe move on and we'll maybe come back. I tell you what, let's go to the glitter markers. Joe's already showed you, really nice little accent for around the cards, maybe a border. We have got past shows on Crafters TV that you can go back and watch on our website or of course on YouTube. You will be able to get some ideas as well. So that's going to be worthwhile having a look at. So tell you what, let's go straight onto the glitter markers now. So we've got these glitter markers. If you haven't already seen it after we're live today, go back and have a look at Friday's Colour Me Happy with myself and Ben. So you can see them on your screen right now, which is coming up in Creative Cravens later on today with myself and Joe, 7 p.m. here in the UK, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Time. It's your glitter marker, so you've got 3 sets, and in each set you've got 6 pens. So if my maths are correct, or I look at the screen, that gives us 18 markers. So £32 here in the UK or £48 $8 for you guys stateside, and we're still, even although they've not been seen since December, and we had them back on Friday and today, we're still giving you that 10%. So let's then have a look. Now what I've also done is, oh, thank you very much. So we've got those stamps. So what I'll do is I'll pop them to the side. We might come back to them, we might not. We'll see how we go for time. Now what I've got is a piece of watercolour card. So I've cut this to 5.5 by 3 3/4. And also on the show later on is we've got our floral sentiment stamps. So they're going to be coming up later. So I've pinched the thanks, and that is what we're going to be using for this one. And what's good about these glitter markers, Joe, is the fact that if you have a look out there on the market at other glitter markers, they are kind of like, they are a permanent one. So all that you can do is just colour with one tone or write with them. With our ones, you can colour direct with one tone. You can go in and you can do shading and blending because they're water-based. So you've got lots of different ways in which you can use them. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing as well. But while I stamp this one up, so actually I'll tell you what I'm doing, and then what I'll do is, do you want another flower fact?
Yeah, I'd love one.
Rightio. So, well, I'll just explain what I'm going to ink with here. Going to do some heat embossing with white embossing powder. So to really enhance the white emboss, I'm going to use pure white opaque pigment. So we're going to stamp and then emboss. So we have got, so one of my favourite flowers, the peony. There's 33 species of the peonies.
33?
33, I know, even I didn't know that. Cannot believe there's that many. I'm shocked at that, actually.
That's loads.
Really, really shocked. And then one that I did know as well. So the Scottish Remembrance poppy, they look different from those of the rest of the UK.
Oh, how interesting.
I know. So they are the traditional red with the black centres, but sometimes they can look a little bit different. So always popular throughout the year, but specifically as well in November time. So there you go. Some knowledge for you when it comes to flowers. But let's give this another coating. I'm having a look at your comments as well. Pat on YouTube is saying, my daughter loves these glitter markers. She uses them on all her creations, such pretty colours. They are, and even if you just want to handwrite with them, maybe your birthday cards or Christmas cards or something like that, would be really, really good. Kathy Green on YouTube is saying, is there a rule of thumb as to which flowers should be distressed? Nope, not at all. You can distress or not distress whichever ones you like. It's entirely up to yourself. And, oh, that was the one that Joe, you asked about Claire with the fabric coat.
Yes,
so, yeah.
indeed.
So give that a shot if you wish.
These glitter pens, are they sort of in any way similar to like a gel? Are they like a gel, you know, like a gel marker you'd had when you were a kid? They're the ones I mean.
So I know what you mean. Yeah, these have got a really sturdy bullet nib right on the end of them. So we'll show you these as well. So these are really going to be good for getting into your really fine detail of your stamps.
But they're very different to sparkle pens.
So they're different in the fact with sparkle pens, because you've got that brush end that really opens up the ability to do lots of different wash backgrounds, because the nib is more flexible with it being a brush. And with the bullet nib, because you've got that finer, strong point, I always like to think that it's easier to get into all of those tiny, maybe your really small detailed stamps that you wouldn't necessarily think to colour with your sparkle brushes. However, you can still do lots of effects as well. So what I'm going to do is I put white embossing powder. So I'm going to melt this. So I'm going to get this to temperature first of all. Then what I'm going to do is pop it over the top. And then as soon as it melts, I'm moving my heat tool. So let's keep going. So as soon as it melts, perfect. Look at that. You can see
that now.
Look at that, Charlotte. Brilliant.
Queen of the super zoom.
Absolutely. And heat embossing is one of those crafts that actually got so many people intrigued and interested in, and therefore got them started, because it's fascinating to watch. So melt in this last one. And this is waterproof card that I've used because we're going to use our water-based pens. So then what I can do is I can switch that one off. So I'm going to just cool that down just slightly, giving it a bit of a waft. And then what I can do is let's go in with our vibrant florals, my neon lights and cool elements. So vibrant florals, let's go for fiery red, supernova, and yellow cosmos. And then we can go, Johnny loves the name of the pens. Really good names, aren't they, Johnny?
They sound like they could be a WWE wrestling trio at WrestleMania.
They do actually, yeah. Mixed tag team match, or ladder match or something. That would be good.
A ladder match.
Ladder.
Oh, I thought
Ladder.
you said larder, like
No.
what you in the they wrestle in a well-stocked pantry.
No. Although there is a cage match with Shane McMahon and Braun Strowman, so that's going to be good.
Wow.
Kind of gutted there's not a Hell in a Cell match, but you can't win them all.
You can't have it all, Craig.
Can't have it all. So I've got my first three to start with, so I'm going to give them a bit of a shake. And unlike Friday, these have all been primed. Because they haven't been seen since Friday, Joe, what we had to do is we had to do a lot of rumpety-pumpety with them, because we had to get the glitter.
Is that the technical term?
Rumpety, yeah. So what we were doing, actually, in case you've not seen them before, let's see, if I got one. Here we go. So we've one. This one's not been primed, so we need to do a little rumpety-pumpety with them. So what I'm doing is I'm giving them a shake, just so we can get all of that glitter coming all the way through. And then what we can do, let's go into another bit of card. And then we need to do, we need to start to press this a number of times. So we'll go rumpety-pump, rumpety-pump. And then we're just going to keep going just for a few times. And then you see the colour coming all the way through. And then that is us now ready to go. So then we can start to, colour. We can start to write with them if you want. All these different things that you can be doing. Lots of different things. Really good for your cards if you want to. Lots of different ways. So what we can do is let's go back now into these colours. So let's go in with the fiery red. So I'm going to give a few rumpety pumps onto the glass mat here. And I want to get some of the colour down onto the glass mat. And I don't need much. So let's go red.
And that pumping's not going to damage your nib, I'm guessing, Craig?
Not at all. Really sturdy nibs here. Really sturdy. And then what I can then go and do is go onto the yellow. So once again, we want to lay that colour down. You can be using them onto your craft mat if you want. You've got that option. I'm going to add a little bit more orange. Let's go green or jade aqua. So we can lay that colour down. Cool blue. So these two now are from our cool elements.
So when this comes out then like this, Craig, is this a water-based ink?
It is, yep. Water-based ink for these ones here. So this is where all of your different techniques that you like to do with your aqua pens, aqua tints, sparkle pens, sparkle pots, anything like that, you can also do now with your glitter markers.
Because it's funny to look at them, you wouldn't be able to think you'd be able to take the ink out and put it on a mat, would you?
No.
When you look at them as the way they're constructed. It's great that you can, to give you all the options.
It is. It's really good that they're so versatile in that way. So what I've done is I've taken my water brush and I've just gone in with a little bit of water and I'm going to blend them bits out. So I'm going to go into here. Now that is a bit darker than usual, and that's obviously because my paintbrush has obviously still got deep ink on it. So let's take some of that off. So we can go into the orange now. Just dipped a little bit of water, and that's why I didn't need a lot of colour onto my glass mat, because all that I'm doing is I'm going in with my paintbrush and we're only doing a few squiggles. And although it's glitter markers, you'll still get the sparkle coming through once it dries. So let's go in with the blue now. And then let's go in. The last two was from the neon lights, and it was neon violet and then neon pink. So let's go into there. And then we can then go in with the last one into the end there. And you can now still come in with your spritz tool. Now I know there's not a lot on this one, but because we've watered it down, there's you could then still go in and do all your different backgrounds from the excess, so don't ever waste them. So now that we've got that one, what I'm then away to do is just lightly, because what's happened is that heat embossing has resisted the glitter ink, but I don't want to take any or a lot of the actual colour off that backdrop. All that I want to do is take off the colour that's sitting on top of the wording. So you can see
that's fantastic.
We've got that effect there. So then if we just quickly bring in our tape runner, you can heat set the ink that you've put down. The only thing you need to watch for is if you were to add a lot of heat, you're going to remelt your heat embossing. So if you can, I would highly recommend let it dry naturally, because it's not going to take long at all. However, if you are going to use a heat tool, then do it on a low setting and do it at quite a distance, just so you're not getting a lot of direct heat. So I'm going in with yellow. These are all from our 12 by 12 bright pad. So lilac, yellow, lilac. We're going to go in with the red, and then we can pop it onto our card blank. And that's all that we're going to do to finish off this card.
Awesome card, Craig.
It's a very simple card, but it's very bright, it's very cheery. It's, you know, you could be using any of the sentiments that we've got on the show. It's a nice one just to send to someone if you want to say thanks for whatever reason. Like this time last year, it's been popping up in my memories. I could be giving this one to you, Joe, when I was doing shielding and you were doing my shopping and all that.
I could have given this to you to do my washing.
Yeah, well, that's true, yeah. So then there we go. Although they are glitter markers, and I know it's always hard to see via the screen, but you're still getting the glisten from the glitter coming through. So that's just one idea, it's one of many as to what you can be doing. So these are going to be coming up on Creative Cravens, which is back with myself and Joe later on tonight here in the UK, 7 p.m. here in the UK, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, or of course 11 a.m. Pacific Time. However, if you want lots of other ideas with the glitter markers afterwards, when we are not live here, do go back and have a look at Friday's Colour Me Happy with myself and Ben, because that full 2 hours was dedicated to the glitter markers. No. So, any other comments with the flowers or?
No questions. Teresa just asked again, I know we did cover it there. Are they water-based? I know you said they were, Craig. Kate says, is it true that it can be hard to find the white opaque ink?
Not as far as I'm led to believe. I've not heard that it's hard.
I believe, is it in stock at the moment, the white in the, we'll check for you. We'll get Johnny to check for you, Katie, if the opaque pigment ink pad in white is in stock. We'll have a little look and we'll let you know. Pamela, loving that, love that you line them up like a rainbow. Carol says, Craig, you know so many techniques and it makes interesting watching. Every day's a school day. Awesome. And also Hannah says she loves the glitter markers. She's going to be getting hers out. Evelyn saying how much, of course, she enjoys embossing, as I know so many of you do too. Now, we've got another fantastic craft folk deal that we need to share with you, and it is on some of our legendary cut and emboss folders. These are absolutely awesome. Now, what you're going to get in here is you are going to get the Moulins frame absolutely free of charge, which is this one just here. You are not paying for that, and it is worth $14.99 or $16.95. So what you're also getting, of course, is the floral frame and the Normandy frames in here. Platinum members, you can pick these up for $20.78 or $25.52, which is awesome. So saving over 30% there on those, which is brilliant. And I know you're sure you'll agree with me, Craig. Cut and emboss folders, there's something that we seem to have almost led the resurgence in, Craig, because you can obviously go out and buy embossing folders with separate cutting dies, but why do that when you can just have it all happen in one pass? It's just so simple, isn't it?
Absolutely, really is simple. And because, you know, as time goes on here at Crafter's Companion, we get more detailed, more intricate, lots of different ways that you can be using them. So let's have a look. First of all, I'm going to show you some of the things that you can be doing that Joe was just going over a moment ago. So these are with your cut and emboss ones here. So this is your floral frame. This is one that we're going to run one through just in a minute. But then what we've also got is making it into a memory book, or, you know, just a notebook, a note journal. And then what I absolutely adore with any embossing folders is black and gilding waxes that we can see here. How simple is this one here? Really, really black. You can see happy birthday within the middle, a little bit of gilding waxes. Maybe then just chopping in, taking little bits out if you want, but doing colour effects maybe, that we can see on that backdrop here. So lots of these different ways you can use it. I'll just show just a couple more. Let's go to this smaller one at the back, a DL size card that you can see here. So you don't need to do much at all to it, simply by cutting and embossing at the same time. Little bit of matting and layering, maybe that's all that you need. So what I can do is I've gone for black. Now I do, when we come to show you these ones, we do it when it comes to the black, but that's because it really shows out all of the incredible depth to them. So I've got black, and what we're going to do is by running this one through, we're running it through our folder, and because it's a cut and emboss, all that we need is our cutting plate, our two cutting plates that you can see here. That's all that you need. However, I do like to include my metal shim, and that just enhances the depth. Now, just going back to that last demo a minute ago, Johnny, did you say they were in stock? So the white opaque pigment ink pads are in stock. They're on our website, so crafterscompanion.co.uk.com.au, so if you are wanting to get a hold of them. So if it does come to white embossing, even although you'd be using white embossing powder, I would always urge you to also use a white opaque pigment, and it really enhances that whiteness. So what we can do now is if I remove this bit out, so I know with it being black it's harder to see first of all, but I'm going to trim all these side bits off. And I love how we've got such a different aperture within all our different cut and emboss folders. There's past ones where we have simplistic square or circles, which are great, but then we come along with these half moons, but in the shape of the flowers. So what I can do is I'm going to go in with some silver, and I'm just popping some onto my finger. And then as soon as I really lightly go on, and always start lightly because you can build up that intensity of colour, and then straight away from up above, look at that, isn't that gorgeous? What about starting to look at them in different ways? So do this a number of times, and then come along and start to fussy cut some of them, and then you could be fussy cutting these flowers, and then you're able to then really start to tile them up on top of each other. Or do a backdrop like this in the black with the silver gilding waxes, but then maybe come along and run them through in white cardstock and fussy cut them in that way. There really is lots of different things which you can do with them. Or even come in with your glitter markers and start to pick out little details from them. But we're going in, and I can't agree with Joe enough when I say that I really do think that us at Crafter's Companion, you know, have really brought them more to the forefront again, haven't we?
They are fantastic, and I just think they're great, especially if you're batch making, Craig, as well, you know, just to run it through and have it done. But then also, I think the two slightly smaller ones in the collection, the Moulin and the Normandy frame, would make great little picture frames. I think they could be awesome on things like smaller scrapbook projects, even multiples of them on larger scrapbook projects maybe.
Absolutely, yeah. And the thing is, similar to what I was explaining here, even with the smaller ones, chop them down and they could be corners for your scrapbook pages, or corners for maybe large photos that you're going to include on your scrapbook pages or your memory books. Lots of different ways. You don't just have to use them as a focal frame within your card or project. Use them as little accent corners maybe, or in different ways throughout your projects. But here we go. So if you start off light, and then you can start to build up the intensity wherever you want. So I'm going to add just a little bit more within the center of the flowers, and that's all that I'm going to do within this one. And then with silver, gild and wax on black, you can start to really get a metallic look. But look at that.
Beautiful.
It's simply, I always use the word phenomenal when it comes to this style here. And it's so simple and absolutely perfect for doing your batch making. A little sentiment, nice different aperture for doing your shakers if you want as well. Acetate on the back, maybe you've got a little character, maybe things like your peekaboos or any of your small characters that you can have popping through if you want. Lots of different things. Keep it simple, or start to bring in, pick out elements from other crafty projects that you've got at home, whether it's from us at Crafters Companion or elsewhere. They're all going to work well together. I think so anyway, Joe.
No, I completely agree. And what a great time to pick them up when you're buying two and getting one totally free of charge, which is awesome. Helen Moore says she really needs to get some gilding wax in her stash. There is some in stock right now over on the website. Don't forget about all the awesome craft fault deals that you've seen in this show so far. If you want to grab them, they're available over on the website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com.au. There you can watch the shop at the same time. If you click the shop the show button, you'll see absolutely everything that's in this wake up call / craft vault, which is awesome. You will also, of course, see something that's coming up a little later in our Creative Cravings show. Creative Cravings, that one show of the week where we kind of take it a little bit more, maybe back to basics. It's a great opportunity for you to get any crafty questions that you may have into us, and that'll be tonight with myself and Craig. And one of the products that is going to be featured on that is the Eclipse stamps. And Craig, these are awesome, aren't they? I know we launched these recently. It was such a massive reaction to these.
Such a huge reaction to these, because it's that trend of that eclipse effect. So you see them on your screen just a moment ago, where you're bringing in backgrounds. Now, use the stamps like I'm away to show you right now, but then use your background papers that you've got at home, any of your background cards that you've got left over. Do what I do, use the alphabets on their own, but you can see on the screen right at the side of you, if you've not got a hold of them, you've got your Eclipse stamp collection. So this is where you get 60 elements. That's bringing in all your individual alphabets as well as the stamps. £39 here in the UK. For you guys stateside, $45. You're getting that saving, and you'll still get your Club Inspire on top of that. So what we can do is let's bring in a piece of our white smooth stamping card for this one. And I've already cut this one to 6.5 by 4.5. And I should say right from the get-go, Joe, I even finished my cup of tea right at the very start of the show. It's not like me.
I've had 2 coffees this morning. I'm buzzing, Craig.
That'll be why. It's obviously why I was buzzing to start right at the show. And yeah, caffeine. I'll need to get another cuppa. At least it was empty, although nothing spilled there. So yeah, so in case you're wondering, it's like, oh, Craig's usually sipping away at his cuppy. Finished it today. Finished it. So, where was I? Why did I say that? Don't know. So, Eclipse stamps. So we've bringing in our stamps here. So what I'm going to do...
You sound really sad about it, Craig.
What? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I could do with a cuppa. We've still got... Is that not cheeky, asking Tracy to make me a cup of tea? Tracy? Tracy? You're live on Crafters TV. Please do not swear. Could you do me a huge favour? Yeah. I could do with a little cup of tea. I finished mine. Would you mind? Could you mind? Not overly strong. No milk. 2 sugars. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Petal. Oh, I love you to bits. Oh, Tracy, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Tracy. So,
Thanks.
love you. Rightio. So I'm going to go in with the beautiful blossoms on this one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my stamping platform as well. Let's bring one with the leg that's still in place. And then we're going to start to create our own little bit of a background. So within this one here, you do get a selection of different sets. So you've got 4 sets of stamps in total. So I'm going to come in here, and what we're going to do is we're going to bring in my stamping mat, and I'm going to pop this one in here. So let's bring these and layer these up. What I'm actually going to do with this one, Joe, is instead of using no, I wasn't going to use a quick dry, but then I've changed my mind. I am, so we can show you how it looks. So I'm going in with some yellow. I'm going to add in some green. Do you want a little bit orange? No, I'm just going to stick with these ones here. So if I bring in my lemon tonic for this one.
Andrew would like to know, how big are the alphabets, Craig?
So
Size-wise.
the alphabet, they are on a whole, they are 1.4 inches by 1.3 inches.
Awesome.
So they're a really good sizable set of alphabet stamps.
And you can use those alphabets away from the eclipse technique, I'm guessing. You don't need to eclipse them in order to use them.
Joe, I use mine mostly away from the eclipse technique. I use them as standalone alphabets. So you can do, absolutely no problem whatsoever. Oh, here she comes. Oh, thank you. Oh, look. Oh my gosh, where is she? She's gone.
We nearly caught her on camera then.
She's wearing a camouflage top.
She's like the enigma, isn't she, of Crafters TV. We never see her, but she's omnipresent, is Tracy.
But that's because she doesn't want to be seen.
I know.
If I can get her in a team selfie, I'd be very, very lucky. Jake, on the other hand, he'll do anything to get in front of the camera. You know, but you really will. Tracy won't. Yes, Johnny, anything. So what I'm doing now is let's go in with a few of these ones. So I'm going to come in now with our grasshopper. So if I'm going to pop these bits there, and then I'm going to have these so that they are free flowing and they're tucking. So this is where we're creating our own background, Joe, but this could be pattern paper. It could be anything that you've got left over.
Papers, these are going to just be awesome, aren't they? And some people love doing that, don't they? You know, just maybe spending a whole afternoon, Craig, sitting down with a load of paper, all your favourite ink pads, maybe a little bit of embossing, and just sitting and playing around and creating some awesome papers.
You can do, and do you know what you could do as well? If you created that background, so not doing your heat embossing, just this wash of a background, then that's your background that then you can use with the eclipse. So all these different ways. So let's move these bits out of the way. So I'm going to leave it with that at the moment. So if I then put it to the side, I can then start to come in now with my eclipse alphabets. So let's go in here. Let's go for happy. So let's do H, A, and
PPY, cause I gotta.
Yes.
Do you remember that film?
I do, yeah.
I think it was PARTTY.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah. It was. But it still works though.
It does.
Still works a treat.
41 Lorraine says, I would make your tea for you anytime, Craig.
Oh, bless. I do always offer Tracy a copy if I go to make one myself. So I am caring and kind in that way. I like to think I make good tea, but
you don't drink tea with milk, so how do you get on? How does it fare? You know, it's one of those things, I always think tea's quite subjective, isn't it? So if you never have it with milk, you know.
Yeah, I don't have it with milk, and I don't have mine overly strong. So at home, 1 tea bag would do me 2 cups.
That is frugal.
It is a little bit strong, Charlotte. But I'm not ungrateful that I will drink it. Absolutely will and drink it. So yeah, it's one of those, tea's one of those, because everyone likes theirs different, don't they? Same with coffee.
Absolutely.
But I will always be grateful for anyone that makes me a cup of tea, and I'll always drink it.
Alicia says, I would love to make coffee and tea for the CC team. You guys brighten my day. You are my sunshine. This place is literally powered on cups of tea.
Yeah.
You know, I think if we ran out of tea bags, the whole business would just ground to a halt. We have tea bags delivered in like huge industrial sized bags, like 10 bags at a time. It's quite unbelievable. And also we have like instant hot water taps, so you can make a cup of tea in a flash. It's quite something.
It is. It's really, really is something. And what even makes me even more happier is the tea brand that we have is my favourite one.
Is it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It is, Johnny, yeah. Yep. My favourite one. Mm-hmm. My favourite one. So what
Not Charlotte's favourite, apparently.
No, is it
They don't
not?
have that brand in Morpeth, apparently.
Oh, no, I'm not.
So it's always the age-old debate, isn't it? PG Tips or Yorkshire Tea? Because they're the two, really, aren't they, what everyone has. Or do we not have, what do we have here?
Tetley.
Tetley. So it's, I'd say the top three are Tetley, PG Tips and Yorkshire Tea.
Yeah.
Now, I'm at home a Yorkshire Tea kind of guy, I must say. At work here, we are a Tetley. But as a kid growing up, it was always PG Tips. You remember they had the little pyramid bags? Do you remember those? They didn't have flat round bags, they had pyramid bags. It blew people's minds.
I've always been a Tetley guy. My nan and granddad always had Tetley, then my mum and dad always had Tetley. Now I've always got Tetley.
Is Tetley Yorkshire? Because it, Scottish, because it sounds Scottish as a name, doesn't it, Tetley?
No, I've got the Tetley.
Am I thinking of Tennants?
You're thinking of Tennants, which is not a cup of tea.
No, it is a very, very strong lager.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the one every now and again we hear opening in the studio when they're here from Johnny. Every now and again we just hear that of a tin opening. So what I've done is I've die cut all these bits out here, and I'm keeping the centre bits as well. So what I can then do is I can then come along. I've got a couple of mats and layers with this kind of like honeydew yellow and a black. So I'm going to pop this one on direct onto my card here. So let's use our tape runner. I'm going to go round. So if I pop this one on, and I need this one. So I'm going to direct this straight over the top. That's then going to go onto the black, and then I'll pop it onto my card blank and position that one here. And then once again onto my card blank. Let's go all the way around. Let's fold my card blank in half. And then that's going to go over the top. I'm going to just burnish that little bit more. And you could be doing small cards, you could be doing your real large statement pieces. What about a nice home decor frame as well? You know, you can do some really lovely things with them. And then what I'm doing is I'm bringing back the alphabets. So what I can do is I can...
Tetley Tea is actually from Yorkshire, we've found out.
Yorkshire?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
In 1837, started by the Tetley brothers. Carol 16 on YouTube, she's with me, and Charlotte, she's in the Yorkshire Tea camp. They even take it on holiday, apparently.
Yeah, no, it's I do like.
You know you're British when you take your own tea bags on holiday to Spain with you.
Yeah.
That is the most British thing you could do. When we went to the States, my mum and dad, I remember taking their own tea bags with them too.
And Heinz tomato sauce, sorry.
Soup, I was going to say.
Sauce.
Heinz tomato, no, we didn't take any, no condiments, just tea bags.
No condiments.
No.
Oh. But yeah, definitely tea bags, you've got to.
Gilmore loves black or red label Lipton, very hard to find. In the US. We don't really have Lipton as tea brand, do we, here in the UK? I've definitely had it on the continent, though, when I've been. Do you know what the problem is with tea on the continent, Craig?
What's that?
Whereas we would always put the bag in and then the boiling water straight over, on the continent when you ask for it, especially in like France, Spain, Italy, when you ask for a cup of tea, they bring the hot water in a cup and then the tea bag is on the side and then you add it afterwards.
Yeah.
So I personally think by the time you've added the tea bag, the water's cooled down, so you don't get a sufficient brew, Craig.
Right. Well, you see, because I like my tea weak, I put hot water in my cup, then put the tea bag in.
Ah, so you'd be all right. You can go
I
and
would
drink all the tea in Italy and France.
I would be absolutely fine, yeah. But it's like, because obviously here we have kettles, whereas majority of places, forgive me if I'm wrong, but a lot of places in America, you don't have kettles. So you don't drink a lot of tea. No.
Where?
In America.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because here, if you go on holiday here and there weren't tea and coffee making facilities in the room, your mum just wouldn't be happy on holiday as a kid. But
never mind, mum not being happy, I wouldn't be happy.
Yeah, but I'm not really. I'd never have a cup of tea in the room, I must say. Sandra Dundas says Tetley Tea is along the road in Eaglescliff on Durham Lane, Joe. There you go. And Helen Moore says, I only became a tea person when I started working in an office. Brew rounds are great for a natter at tea point. Has to be a coffee in the morning though. Always a coffee. 2 cups of coffee to get me going in the morning, Craig, and then tea thereafter.
Is that what you take?
That's my routine.
Is that your take? I think, to be honest as well, I think the reason they put that really quick hot water tap in the canteen was to stop everyone from gossiping for so long in the kitchen.
Maybe.
Just put that one in. So what I'm doing here, Joe, is I'm now basically paper piecing my alphabets back in, but I'm doing a little bit of a offset shadow effect. So you can see you've got that colour on the background shining through. So I'm taking these bits of foam pads off the back. I would add a lot more than this when I've got time at home. But if I then pop this last one in here, so if I then pop that one to the side, so let's just move that one there. And then what I would then do is keeping a hold of those little bits that we've popped out. Let's go in with our tacky glue, and I'm going to pop them bits in. Let's put my pin back into my tacky glue. And then what we can then do is pop them into the right bit. So if I pop that one there, and then I'm going to pop that one in here. What I would also have done with a lot more time is before I stuck the alphabets down, I would have gone round the edges with either the yellow or the green, or potentially maybe even an orange, just to accent that line. But if I move them back in, and then I do happen to have a bow that I've already tied, so I'm going to bring that one in here. Let's pop that one to the corner, and then there we go. We've got Happy, which I will be all weekend as soon as WrestleMania starts. There you go. So you can see by doing that little bit of an offset shadow, we've got that backdrop of the yellow of that cardstock just shining through. And it's really bright and really cheap. And actually, I've just noticed as well, between that as well as the one with the glitter markers, really bright, happy, shiny cards that we've been doing, as well as those little flowers that we've done. But that is what's coming up in Creative Cravens at the end of the day UK time with myself and Joe. 7 p.m. here in the UK, 2 p.m. Eastern time, or 11 a.m. Pacific time. And that was the Eclipse stamp collection. 60 elements in total, £39 here in the UK, $45 for you guys stateside. But we will also be showing these in a little bit more detail in Creative Cravens on Crafters TV. But I know that's not the only thing that we just want to give you a heads up of. Joe's got a couple of things too.
I have. I just want to recap those awesome Craft Vault deals that you have seen. A buy two, get one free situation here, because what you're doing is getting the 2 dotty tape pens in this configuration, and then we will give you the extra strong tape pen totally free of charge, which is very generous of us. I think generous of us. So $9.98 or $13.90 if you want that one. This one here, you buy the 2 ink pads, which is awesome. The Lagoon and the Spring Meadow. I'm going to give you the Swash stamps worth $4.99 or $6.95, totally free of charge. I beg your pardon, I never promised you a rose garden. That's what we've got next. You've got 24 sheets of the luxury cardstock here. You are going to get that fanciful Floribunda. It's a Dolly Parton song, guys. And we're going to give you the climbing rose, totally free of charge in here.
Celine Dion, I wouldn't know.
I love a bit of Dolly. Charlotte loves a...
We'll talk about that after the show.
Yeah, don't worry. Just don't worry about hijacking my steals. So make sure you get that $22.98 or $29.98. We've also got the cut and emboss folders.
Sometimes I forget that we're live.
We've also got the cut and emboss folders for you as well. You're going to get the Moulon in here, totally free of charge, which is absolutely awesome when you buy the other two, $25.98 or $31.90, with a great saving on those. Well, what an awesome wake-up call it's been, Craig. Thanks for letting me come and hijack your show with you.
Honestly,
gate crashing, let's go with that.
It's never gate crashing, Joe. Never gate crashing. Always good loving you having on the show when you're in the building.
If we're this giddy on a Wednesday, what are we going to be like by Friday?
I know. Gosh, could only imagine. Only imagine. It'll be interesting to see. But that has been, such a great show today on Crafters TV, as it is with Wake Up Call / Craft Vault. However, that's not the end of it. We've only just begun. And this is coming up later on in the day. It's all about the craft along with Sarah. Just to answer one of the questions as well, Matt Trinista on YouTube is saying, Craig, what setting do you have the iron on? Flower forming, so whether it's your craft iron, home iron, or your travel iron, just have it on high to create the flowers. So that is your craft along with Sarah and Joe. So they're going to be creating an incredible project. That's all about the teacup, I want to say. It's going to be the teacup, flowing magic teacup. So if you need some info as to what you need to get together to do the craft along, then go across onto our social pages as well as Sarah's, and you'll find the instructions there. So that's going to be 3 p.m. here in the UK, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific Time. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to be toddling my way back, and we're going to be doing Creative Cravings together with myself and Joe. So that's where we're going to have a look at the glitter markers again. We're going to have a look at what we were just showing you there with the eclipse, as well as some other goodies as well. We've even got a Totally Tiffany Hero tool at the same time within the show. So do come back and watch us then. It would be so good to have your company for us to close the Friday. No, not quite Friday. Wednesday on Crafters TV. So that's going to be 7. Can you tell that I'm wanting WrestleMania to hurry up? That's going to be 7 p.m. here in the UK, or for you guys stateside, 2 p.m. Eastern Time or 11 a.m. Pacific Time. So all that is left to say is, once again, thank you so much. Thank you so much for all your comments coming in. But don't forget, when it comes to the craft along, get your comments in as well. Although I know that a lot of you go silent because you're crafting along, but send your pictures at the end of the show as well for everyone to see. I'm away to finish my cup of tea. I'm away to go and do a little bit of blasting of Celine Dion, and we will see you. I'll see you at the end of the day for Creative Craving. See you shortly. Bye.